I'm set up here this morning. I am going to bone out some rabbits that we processed yesterday. Yesterday we had a big harvest day. We harvested 23. We usually don't like to do quite that many in a day. It's just kind of a lot. But we did have a good crew of 3 of us. I was running them. My son and my husband were butchering. We were actually able, despite the fact that we had 23, we did it in 2 hours. You really can't beat the processing on rabbits. It's just so easy. Virtually no setup, a knife, some shears, and you're good to go. But today is boning day. I'm going to bone these out to make some cubed meat and ground meat. I find that I do keep whole rabbits for roasting, shredded rabbit, all sorts of things. But I find that on the day-to-day, having some meat boned out that is easy to grab and use, all prepped and ready, that's how you really make good use of your rabbit. We're all really busy. We got a lot going on. You got sports, you got work, you've got all sorts of things. So being able to go to the freezer, take something out, whether it's ground, chunks, cubes, parts, what have you, really makes it so that you will use the meat, and that's a key in this. So my setup here, I've obviously got my rabbit, I've got my honing steel for the knives, my sharpening stone, which I've already sharpened these to the best of my ability. That's a skill I'm still working on. I've got 2 different size knives. These are Victorinox knives, good company. Lots of butchers like to use them. This is a 4-inch boning and a 6-inch boning. Most of the work is done with the 6, and that's why I keep 2 of them, just because I can keep an edge and keep going back and forth. In between, I'll stop and hone them as I need to. Halfway through, I wouldn't be surprised if I need to sharpen them as well. I like to, after I bleach my surface, bleach cleaner, lay down some newspaper. It's good at absorbing whatever liquids you might have. These aren't too liquidy because they've been in the refrigerator, and they're not dried out, but they're not moist. And then the cutting board over it. The other thing that the newspaper does is helps to keep that from slip sliding around. So I've got a nice firm surface to work with. And then I've got a pot of water here, cold water right now. But as I bone this out, the meat will all go into trays to be ground later on, and the carcasses will go in, and I'll start a nice broth. Rabbit makes fabulous stock and broth. Highly recommend it. So I'm gonna get started here. Not gonna bore you with watching me hack around, but I will say that, I'm not too particular when I'm boning about how I'm doing it. Just, kind of feel your way around. Go on YouTube, watch some videos, see how some real experts are doing it. But this is all just getting cut into chunks and ground meat. So I don't really need to worry about whether I'm making a cut right or wrong. Just get it off the bone, get as much as you can. It's not too hard to do. And get it so you can use it. That's really the only thing. The only one key that I will say before I start is the one thing you want to do is make sure your meat is cold when you start and keep it cold. So like I said, we did 23 yesterday. I boned out 2 of them last night, ground it. We had some really delicious tacos with it. And, so I've still got 21 to go today. Don't take those all out while you're waiting. For 1, it's not good food safety, but for 2, when you're working with meat, cutting, boning, you want it cold. You want it firm so that it's easy to get off the bone. So that is the one thing I'll say. Keep them in the refrigerator, any of them that you're not working. And then, once you've got a good pile of it, get that back in the refrigerator. Keep going back and forth and rotating that meat out. Don't let your stuff sit around and get warm in the meantime.